Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Please like and subscribe.
Okay.
Subscribe.
Can we just
The
take
B is
notes?
silent.
Yeah, we're going to start now. All right, today we're going to be solving square root and cube root equations. Really, today's not that hard. Only 2 of the problems today are going to be hard. All right, so only the 2 of the problems. The rest of it, we're going to be reverse PEMDASing. All right. So, on number 1, I'm going to draw the line where my equal sign is. And I'm going to ask myself, what is being added or subtracted in my problem? The 4, very good. The 4 is what's being added, so I'm going to subtract by 4 on both sides first. Alright, so I have 2 square root 3x minus 2 equals 8. Very good. And then next is multiplying or dividing. So the 2 here is being multiplied. It's multiplied. So the next thing to do is to divide it. So I'm going to divide by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. Alright, next thing on reverse PEMDAS is exponent. Exponents and roots are the same thing. So I'm going to get rid of my root next. How do you... Yeah, you're going to square it. So to get rid of a square root, you square. When you square, make sure you use parentheses. Parentheses square, parentheses square. Sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't. So use them every time just in case. So, yep. Square root and square cancel. I'm left with 3x minus 2. And then 4 squared is 16.
So then you add 2, right?
Very good. And so now we're going to add 2. Add 2.
Divide by 3.
And I get 18. Divide by 3. Divide by 3.
And x equals 6.
X equals 6.
Yay, this is simple. Why is it so easy?
How to check?
Just
Oh,
wait
you
for
just
the
plug in
next
6.
Right, so how do we check it? We just plug in 6?
Yep.
So you can plug it into any of the guys with the roots. All right, so any of your equations with the roots, this one's probably going to be the easiest one. All right, but if you want to just go back to the original, you're more than welcome to. But any of the guys with the roots, we can plug it in and check. So 3 times 6 minus 2 equals 4. All right, what's 3 times 6?
18.
Minus 2?
16.
What's the square root of 16?
4. Yes.
So yay, works. You have to check square roots. Because sometimes the square roots, funny things happen. So yes, you do have to check square roots. Cube roots you don't have to check. All right, go to number 2. All right, on number 2, what is the first thing I'm going to do? Plus 18. All right, so plus 18, I get 3 square root 5x plus 1 equals 18. Very good. Divide by 3.
Hold on, I can't breathe.
So I have the square root of 5x plus 1
Equals
equals 6.
And then you parentheses square on both sides.
Parentheses square on both sides.
So it goes away and it's 5x plus 1 equals 36.
Very good.
And you just solve for x by minus 1.
Right.
So 5x equals 35 divided by 5 on both sides. X equals 7.
Good.
And then plug in your numbers.
All right, so are we all good with that? Didn't go too fast? All right. I'm going to use that guy to plug in 7. This one with the root. You could use any of them, but this one is the simplest. So 5 times 7 plus 1 equals 6. And yes, 5 times 7 is 35. Plus 1 is 36.
6 does equal 6.
So it works.
Do we have to check it?
On square roots, yes.
I gave her my powers.
I gave him a power.
Like a mini me, remember?
Uh-huh.
So what happened?
If you can do it in your head. All right, go to 3. All right, 3 and 4 are the difficult problems. So even if you're like, shoot, I got this, no, you don't. All right. So Watch me do 3 and 4. If you have 3 and 4, then I'm good with you. But don't lose focus yet. All right, on number 3, the reason why these guys are extra difficult is because I have 2 terms with an X.
What the
Oh my god.
All right, so that's why they're gonna mess you up. So when that happens.
Get it on one side.
Combine them.
All right, so we are gonna still minus the 3 here.
That's wow.
2x minus 3 equals. Can you combine x and negative 3?
No.
Nope. So we just write x minus 3.
Sorry guys, only 2 numbers of sleep.
Okay, now how do I get rid of the square root? I square it. Parentheses, square, parentheses, square.
So 2x minus 3 equals. Do you just leave it like that? Just x minus 3 squared? Or
Nope,
do
we
you wanna do
gotta-
it twice?
Next
Yep.
square.
All right.
You're gonna foil it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So x minus 3 squared, we are going to FOIL it. Now, I don't know if you remember, I did show you a shortcut so you don't have to FOIL a while ago. I did. So,
X squared minus 6x plus 9.
yes, very good. All right, so the shortcut, if you have a binomial squared, the shortcut is you're going to square x. So what's x squared? X squared. You're going to square negative 3. What's negative 3 squared? 9.
Positive.
Positive 9. Because negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9, right? So square, square, and then we're going to multiply everything. So what is 2 times negative 3 times x? So that's the kind of shortcut, the way you can do it in your head. So, so 2 times negative 3 times x to get the middle guy. If you don't like the shortcut, which is fine, I know not everybody likes the shortcut, and you have to work it out by hand, that's totally fine too. It just takes a little bit extra steps. So x minus 3 times x minus 3. So we're going to distribute x times x is x squared, x times negative 3, negative 3x, and then
Oh, never mind, sorry. I was wondering what you're doing.
you're good. Distribute the negative 3. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. If you did FOIL correctly, those guys should be combined. Negative 6x plus 9. All right. So if you FOIL it, you'll get the same answer as doing it the shortcut way. The benefit of this is you can do it in your head and you don't have to write it down. All right. Now, moving on because we're not nearly close to being done. So far I have minus 3, I have squared, and I have multiplied that out.
Yeah.
I have a quadratic, right, because it's a squared.
Quadratic.
So to solve quadratics, we are going to do what we did before when we had our quadratic unit, and we had all those different ways to solve.
Wait, are we doing the song?
I'm not going to, you could, but it's harder. What's the easiest way to solve these guys?
Factoring?
Factoring.
All
So,
right.
factor.
Calculator.
So I need to move everything to one side. So I'm going to minus 2x and add 3. Minus 2x, add 3.
Nice. So x squared minus 8x plus 12.
Good. So x squared minus 8x plus 12. All right, so now I need to factor it. So what two numbers multiply to give me 12, add to give me negative 8?
Hold on.
Good.
Yes, queen.
Negative 6 and negative 2,
And then you make them equal to 0.
right? And so then you equal them to 0.
So x equals 6 and x also equals 2.
I told you this one was hard.
It's not hard.
It's long.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Don't make us check
Anybody
it.
want to play Animal Crossing after we're
You
done?
do. Okay. So you have the quadratic. We factor. We set our factors equal to 0. We solve, and we get our two answers. Yes, you 100% have to check these because normally one's going to work, one is not. Do you remember what it's called when you have a solution that doesn't work? No, it's got a special name. It starts with an E. It was a long word.
Exponential solution.
No.
I died.
Esophagus.
We did it when we did absolute values.
Flipped
Wait,
it.
don't say it.
EX.
Hey Google. I don't know.
Don't say it.
Philip.
Yes, extraneous. Very good, extraneous.
Who said that?
Evelyn.
Of course Evelyn said it. Gosh.
Evelyn, I love you.
All right, focus back up here.
Suck it up.
I'm going to check it. I'm going to use this guy to check it as well. All right, so when I'm checking, 2 times 6 minus 3 equals 6 minus 3. Angie, up here.
Square root 2?
Yeah, sorry. Square root 2 times 6 minus 3 equals 6 minus 3. So 2 times 6 is 12 minus 3, 9. So I have the square root of 9. What's 6 minus 3?
30.
Oh.
Good. So this one works. Cortarion.
What?
Focus.
I'm gonna give you some.
All right. What's the other one I have to test?
2.
Oh, you plugged in the other number.
2. So 2 times 2 minus 3 equals 2 minus 3.
3 does. 3 does.
What is 2 minus 3?
-1.
-1. So let's think about this for a second. Is your square root ever going to equal -1? No. So this one is extraneous. So remember, you can put a little ES next to it, or cross it out, or somehow signify to me that it is extraneous.
Wait, so whenever there's 2 solutions, there can be one that's extraneous and one that is true?
Yep.
Okay. And so they can be like 3 different answers, right? Like both can be true, both can be false.
Mhm.
1 and 1.
Yep.
Okay, okay, thank you.
With absolute values. Yeah. All right, let's go to number 4. All right, on number 4, what's the first step? Add 5. Shh. If you're talking, please quit. Shh. All right, and then square. All right, so I have x plus 7. And, yeah, I got to FOIL all this out. So x plus 5 squared is going to give me x squared. So x squared, and then what's 5 squared?
25.
25. Okay, what's 2 times 5? Plus x, or sorry, times x? 10x. So I have x squared plus 10x plus 25. Good, we're going to subtract the x, we're going to subtract the 7.
X plus 5 squared.
Good, do it to both sides. So those guys cancel. So, yes, 18. So 10x minus x is going to give you 9x. 25 minus 7 is going to give you 18.
X squared plus 9x plus 18. Yes.
Is it,
And then you do factor thingy.
can you factor?
Yeah. 6 and 3, good.
Yes.
So x plus 6, x plus 3,
Leave me alone.
X plus 3. And then you
So-
equal it to 0.
equal them to 0, so what are my two solutions?
X equals 6 and -6 and -3.
Good, -6 and -3.
I'm so sorry.
Yes, now we need to check it. Alright, so I'm going to plug it into this one.
Yeah.
Square root of -6 plus 7 equals -6 plus 5. What is -6 plus 5?
-1.
Is that one going to work?
No.
No, because square root can't equal a negative number. It makes no sense. So
Extraneous, yes.
that one's extraneous. Alright, so let's check the other one.
So what's the square root of 1?
That girl said
1.
extraneous.
Alright, square root -3 plus 7 equals -3 plus 5.
No, yeah, that's possible. There's 3 different.
Wait, so how is, oh, it's not negative.
It's not -1, yeah.
So square root of 4 equals 2.
Good. Square root of 4 equals 2.
And then -3 plus 5 does equal 2.
So yay, that one works.
Yee.
So -3 is the solution.
I can't wait until I get home and play Minecraft with
So
you.
if this was on a test, we put like the x equals -3 as the answer?
Yes.
2.
Yeah, so Isabella asked a good question. She said if this is on a test, like how would the multiple choice be? They would just give you x equals -3, or they would specify x equals -3, x equals -6 is extraneous. Like they will tell you that one is extraneous. Or they might ask you, find the extraneous solution, and then you would have to find -6. All right, so it'll specify on the test, and if it doesn't specify, then only -3 is your answer. Does that make sense? All right, last two, we are going to do the cube root ones down here at the bottom, but they should be pretty simple. I'm not going to give you 2 terms with an x for a cube root. All right, we're not going to do those, so we're just going to do the basic cube root functions. So, what is the first thing I'm going to do on number 5? -4. So I have 3 cube root 5x minus 1 equals 12. All right, then what do you do? Wait, what?
Okay, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Divide by 3, yes?
Divide by 3.
Goes cube root 5x minus 1 equals 4.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you do the parentheses thing with the cube and yeah.
Right, okay, so to get rid of a cube root, you do what? You cube it. All right, so to get rid of a square root, you square. To get rid of a cube root, we cube. So we're going to parentheses cube. So really the hardest part here is knowing your cubes. What is 4 cubed? 64.
So 5x minus 1 equals 64 plus 1.
All right, so shh. Even if you get it, please quit talking. We're going to add 1 to both sides, and we get 5x equals 65.
Divided by 5 equals
Divided by 5. X equals 13.
Yes!
I
I
don't
can do
know.
basic math.
All right, on the cube roots, you do not have to check if you don't want to. You do not have to.
Don't got it, my sis.
On the square roots, yes, you have to check because you might get extraneous. All right, cube roots, you don't have to.
I know you heard that.
It's the wind in my window. There's like a hole in it or something. So,
Nice.
yeah. All right, let's finish this. Let's do number 6. All right, I'm gonna call on you, so don't answer unless I call on you. Salia, what do I do first?
2. So, +7.
Plus 7.
Yeah.
You just told her the answers. That shouldn't be allowed.
Faith, literally.
All right, Daniela, what's next? Divide by 2. Haley Scott, what do I do next? How do you get rid of the cube root? Cube it.
Yes. Queen.
All right, Kiadra, what is 5 cubed?
I got you. I got you.
125. 125. And let's see, who wants to do the last one? Kanaya. Add 5.
X equals 130 on game.
All right, so any questions about the notes for today?
Where do we go to the YouTube channel?